All right, everyone. I was not able to find a clean video for this homework assignment. So I wanted to go ahead and just recreate the information that we shared at the end of class today. Okay, so first you're going to go ahead and I would recommend downloading this information. Okay, downloading this, or if you want to just open this up and work on your own piece of paper, that's fine as well. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to figure out what our total revenue is going to be. So to do that, we're going to multiply the rooms, the number of rooms that we sold at the various rates. Okay, that's step number one. Step number two is we're going to figure out how many rooms we actually sold. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. Actually, let me do number one with you, and then we can look at the remaining ones. Let me get my calculator, figure out where my calculator is. Okay. And then let's go back to here. All right. So here we go. $75 or 75 rooms times $85. That gives us 6,375. So I'm going to pause the recording while I do the rest of them, and then I will come back. All right, so I've done all the math. Step one, multiplied. I try to keep this stuff. I'm gonna try to color code this so it makes it a little bit easier for you to work through your papers as well. So our total revenue is 13,750, and we sold 150 rooms. Okay. Now keep in mind we have a 200 room property. So for occupancy percentage, remember, our occupancy percentage is the rooms sold divided by available rooms. Okay, so in this case, we sold 150 rooms and we have 200 rooms available. So when we do that, it comes out to 0.75. And when we move that decimal place over 2, we get 75%. Okay. Now let's look at our ADR, our average daily rate. Okay. So average daily rate is our total revenue divided by the rooms sold. Okay. So if we color code this, this is going to be $13,750 divided by the number of rooms that we sold is the green of 150 rooms. Okay. So now when we do that math, we have $91.67. Remember, we're going to go to the nearest two decimals because we're talking about dollars and cents. And so our ADR is going to be $91.67. Okay. $91.67. And then for RevPAR, let's see, what color have I not used? Blue. Our revenue per available room. Revenue divided by the available rooms. Okay, so we take that same 13,750, and we're going to divide that by our rooms of 200. Okay, and when we do that, this number should be smaller than our ADR. The only times ADR and RevPAR are the same is when you have 100% occupancy. So $68.75. So if you have this printed out, okay, and 75 cents. So if you have this printed out, then what I would recommend that you do is scroll down to the bottom, the last page, and just go ahead and fill out the information on your chart. My occupancy was 75%. My ADR was $91.67. My RevPAR was $68.75. And my room revenue was 13,750. So if you do that for each of these problems, then when you go to answer your quiz, you can just go straight across and answer the questions as you go. Okay. Something else to keep in mind is remember that this one is question 4, but then also this one that has 250 rooms. It says question 4. It should be question 5. Okay, that's just a typo on my part. So let's go ahead and do, as a bonus, let's go ahead and do question 4 with you all as together. Okay. So we're going to start the same way. We're going to multiply the number of rooms we sold each day times the average daily rate to give us how much our revenue was for that day. The only difference is that you notice this is going to be 1 week. Okay, so that's going to impact our rooms that we sold, as well as the revenue per available rooms and the occupancy. So let's take a look at that. All right, so I got wiser. So work smarter, not harder. Okay, so I pulled this up in Excel so I can do, again, we're going to multiply straight across to get our room revenue for each day. So if we do our number of rooms sold times our ADR, okay, and then we're just going to multiply that straight across and add at the bottom. Okay, so this is my total revenue. And then my total rooms, I'm going to add all these up right here. Then I sold 2,825 rooms. Okay. Now keep in mind, this is for a week. So if there's a week and we have 450 rooms, we have to do 450 rooms times 7 days. So that means my total rooms that I have for that period is 3,150. That's going to be important here in just one moment. Okay. So our occupancy percentage, remember, occupancy is rooms sold divided by available rooms. So in this case, we have the rooms that we sold. We have the rooms that we sold of 2,825, and we divide that by the total rooms of 3,150. And that gives me an 89.7% occupancy. Okay. For our average daily rate, we're going to take our total revenue and divide it by the number of rooms that we actually sold to give me $189.34. And then our RevPAR is our revenue per available room. So this time we're going to take this revenue and divide it by all the rooms we have available during that period. And that's going to give us $169.80. My revenue is $534,875. Okay, let's just double check our quiz. So this is question number 5. Our occupancy was 89.7. Our ADR was 189.34. Our RevPAR was 169.80. And our room revenue, 534,875. Let's submit our quiz and let's see. Let's hope for. Oh, I got 0 out of 20 right. Oh, hold on. Let me figure this out. I know why, because I did question 5. So obviously that's going to go wrong. Let's go to question 4. That was the real number that we worked on. Okay, question 4, occupancy, 89.7. Let's try that again. ADR, 189.34. RevPAR, 169.80. Room revenue, 534,875. Okay, now let's submit the quiz. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. Look at that, 4 out of 20. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. What I would recommend, again, is go down to the bottom here and write those answers straight across here on question number 4. So now essentially you have an example for question 1 that you can use for questions 2 and 3. You have an example for question 4 that you can use as an example for question 5. Okay. Hopefully this helps you, and I look forward to seeing the results of your quizzes.